Hello and welcome to this edition of FYI Weekly, your official source for the latest news and information from the city of Greensboro. The city's neighborhood development and workforce development departments are spearheading Welcome Home. This program is designed to promote economic development and job creation opportunities for those experiencing homelessness. HOME stands for Housing Opportunities Matching Employment. The city and Salvation Army are working on a model developed to rapidly transition individuals and families experiencing homelessness. The initial cohort for the program is 10 participants. The Salvation Army will assess and select the program participants. The program's three key components include securing housing, providing housing financial assistance, and matching participants to jobs and services. Welcome Home will provide an initial assessment, housing assistance, and case management for up to 24 months. Once participants are housed, they will enter the workforce development component of the program and receive pre-employment assistance, training, work experience, and employment assistance. NC Works has approximately 20 potential work sites committed to supporting the program, including the city of Greensboro. Neighborhood Development will use current homelessness assistance funds to support the rehousing component, and Workforce Development will use existing funds to support the employment piece. The Greensboro Criminal Justice Advisory Commission, or GCJAC, continues its monthly meeting schedule. One of the agenda items during its January meeting addressed GPD policies on restraint methods. The discussion resulted in members of the commission agreeing to collaborate with GPD to identify potential alternatives to current restraint techniques. Commissioners also formed a committee to study how police engage with individuals in use of force situations. They believe findings can provide a significant benefit for both residents and GPD, leading to positive future alternatives. Commissioner Steve Friedland will lead an initial discussion to help focus the committee's options and identify possible study outcomes. In addition to GCJAC, the city created a new full-time position, a criminal justice administrator. Letitia McNeil will serve in this role. Her background is in criminal justice. Ms. McNeil is tasked with providing professional support to members of the GCJAC and its subcommittee, the Police Community Review Board, or PCRB, as they work to monitor, review, analyze, educate, advise, and report on matters related to civilian oversight of police activities and review of complaints of police misconduct. Ms. McNeil will receive complaints requesting review of Greensboro Police Department professional standards investigations. She will also act as a liaison between the GCJAC, PCRB, the City Attorney's Office, and the Greensboro Police Department. The city's final round of loose leaf collection has been extended to February 7th as a result of inclement weather delays. Property owners should follow these tips for a successful leaf collection experience. You should rake leaves to the edge of your yard behind the curb. Do not put leaves in the street or on the sidewalks. Remove any sticks, rocks, and other debris that may damage city equipment. Do not park vehicles on, in front of, or near the leaves. Check the interactive map to find out where your neighborhood is on the leaf collection schedule, and consider using the city's year-round yard waste program to dispose of your leaves. Put them at the curb in clear plastic bags or a plastic or metal garbage can to be collected on your regular trash collection day. More than 11,000 tons of leaves were collected by the city last year. The leaves are converted into compost to fertilize city gardens and landscaped areas. The compost can be purchased at the White Street landfill located at 2503 White Street. In an effort to help each of us improve our quality of life, the city has partnered with Cone Health for a series of brief and informative videos designed to inspire you to make better choices when it comes to healthy living. Let's check in with our friends at Cone Health for today's news for your health.
Regardless of what sport your teenager plays and whether they play at a highly competitive level or whether they play for fun, we know that they want to win very badly. But we also know that equally, if not more important, is keeping them safe. My name is Dr. Robert Weiner, and I'm with Murphy Weiner Orthopedics. And I'm going to talk to you today about what the warning signs are, what to look for, and how to keep your teenagers and kids safe when they're playing sports at whatever level they're doing. When we talk about factors that lead to injuries, there's some things I want you to understand first about what an injury really is. Injuries can be from one particular event, such as you're running down the field and you go to make a hard cut and your knee gives out. That's one particular event. Or an injury can come from overdoing the same activity over and over again. We call those overuse injuries. And the problem is that not always do you pay attention to the pain. The young athlete may want to just continue to throw because they don't want to disappoint anybody, and so they continue to throw in pain. So the way to prevent an injury in throwing is not only to make sure your arm is strong, but also to make sure that your whole body is strong. So we really stress core strengthening for our throwers. That's true for not just baseball. It's true in tennis, because it's an overhead sport. It's true in volleyball because that can also be an overhead sport. It's true in swimming. So the one thing we tell all of our coaches and our parents when we're talking about their kids playing a sport that involves using their arm is, number one, if you start having pain, immediately stop. Because the more you throw or do anything in pain, the more you're going to do more injury. Then we go back and say, okay, you take some time off. You do a lot of stretching. Stretching is very important in any sport. Whether it's baseball for your arm or your hips, you have to stretch those too. Whether it's football or basketball, where we stress a lot about stretching the lower body. But the stretching is important, the strengthening is important, and then resting. Resting is really important, and so we stress that a lot. And so when you feel like that you've done the strengthening and done the stretching, and if there is pain, and you've taken a week or two off, yet you've continued to work on the rest of your body, and if the pain is still there, you need to see us. We see a lot of times that, especially in the summer when these summer leagues will start up, that the kids will start playing on two different teams. And so one team will play on the weekends and another team will play during the week. And all of a sudden, you don't realize it, but they're playing every day and there's no rest, there's no downtime. And so we can see a lot of injuries from that standpoint. We see it in soccer, we see it in baseball. So playing on multiple teams at the same time is a real warning sign that an injury may be brewing. And again, if something starts to hurt, you have to stop. The other thing that we see that goes along with this is that there are many times where there are big tournament weekends, and there'll be 3 or 4 games a day on a Saturday and then on a Sunday. And that's also a potential recipe for a problem. So really paying attention to the amount of time that the young athlete is playing when you don't think it's a big deal, but if you start adding it all up, it's an incredible amount of exposure to the same sport, the same stress on their body over and over again. Just remember, at the end of the day, it's equally important not just to win and to outscore the other team, but also to make sure that you stay safe and healthy. So thank you. Now, for any other information on these topics, go to conehealth.com/orthopedics, and you can find all that information that you need. Thank you.
Greensboro has quite a few one-way streets, especially in the downtown area. The city is considering changing one popular street to make it two-way. The public can share their thoughts. We'll have that story and more news coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. The Greensboro Department of Transportation will host a meeting to allow the community to comment on and review the design plans to convert Green Street from a one-way street to a two-way traffic pattern. The meeting will take place on Thursday, January 31st at CoLab, located at 229 North Green Street. Participants can stop by anytime between 11 a.m. and 1 p.m. or again from 4 p.m. to 6 p.m. Residents who are not able to attend the public interest meeting can review the project details on the city's website. Comments may also be submitted to Denise Conway via email by Friday, February 15th. The Drama Center of City Arts and Events will kick off a new season of its All Abilities Actors Legion, an inclusive theater program for ages 13 through adults. The Legion will meet Tuesdays from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. from February 5th to May 7th, followed by a public performance on May 9th through May 11th. The first meeting will take place at Studio 108 in the Greensboro Cultural Center, located at 200 North Davie Street. There is a $50 registration fee, and registration is available online. The Drama Center encourages people, including those with disabilities, to perform and participate in all of its theater programs. The All Abilities Actors Legion is a special opportunity for individuals with disabilities to work together to create a theatrical masterpiece. For more information, contact Todd Fisher, the Drama Center Director, by sending him an email or calling 336-373-2974. Kitchen Connect's GSO, an incubator program to grow prepared foods by local entrepreneurs, is accepting applications for its 6-week training program. Scholarships are available based on income. This is a partnership of the Greensboro Farmers Curb Market, Out of the Garden Project, and the Guilford County Cooperative Extension. This collaboration with the City of Greensboro is made possible through a USDA Local Food Promotions Grant. The program is seeking applicants who will be bringing diversity of food offerings, ethnic culinary products, and prepared foods that can help support underserved communities and create new economic opportunities within the City of Greensboro. Kitchen Connect's GSO brings together Greensboro's first shared kitchen with food safety and small business training classes to create a unique local food incubator program. The goal is to provide opportunities for new value-added product startups to begin or expand their operations and increase the public's awareness of locally sourced and produced foods. Participants will receive reduced cost training in Safe Plate, a food safety and handling certification program, and basic small business classes, marketing and merchandising. Applications are available online and due by March 1st. In an effort to spotlight and celebrate local artists, business owners, community builders, and essentially the next generation of leaders, the city is proud to partner with Action Greensboro to introduce our Made in Greensboro series. This day, we place the spotlight on David Hoggard and his talented team of window installers. David Hoggard was a wholesale instrument salesman with a passion for restoring historic homes when he stumbled into entrepreneurship. He and his wife planned to buy homes in the Aycock Historic District, now called Dunleaf, improve them, and rent them to earn money to send their children to college. It involved a lot of hard work, including the delicate business of repairing 100-year-old windows. By historic district guidelines, restoration is always preferred over replacement. That made sense to David, who says unlike modern windows, these were made to be repaired. Before long, people were looking to him for advice on how to repair their own windows. Today, his business, Double Hung, has 20 employees and restores windows for commercial, institutional, and residential properties. Window sashes from across the Southeast are carefully stripped of centuries of paint and repaired at the company's bustling Patterson Street workshop. David considers it working with artifacts. You'll find David's handiwork at the Old State Capitol Building in Raleigh, the Virginia Supreme Court, and the Greensboro Historical Museum. To learn more about Made in Greensboro or to see more images taken by photographers Jerry Walford and Scott Mothersbaugh, visit the Action Greensboro website at madeingso.com. The city of Greensboro is gearing up to celebrate the contributions of African Americans as the country recognizes Black History Month. Coming up after the break, the library will share a host of activities they are lining up for all ages. Stay with us. Welcome back to FYI Weekly. There is no shortage of opportunities to be educated, enlightened, and entertained throughout the month of February. Joining me now to tell us about the Black History Month activities hosted by the library is Tanika Martin, our Youth Services Coordinator, and Beth Sheffield, our Adult Programming Coordinator. Hello, ladies. Thank you for joining me.
Thank you. Thank you for having us.
We're so glad to have you. The library is such a fun place to be. Beth, I'm going to start with you. Tell us this year's theme, Black Migrations. What is that about, and what are some of the programs centered around that?
Black Migrations is looking at both migrations in the past, migrations in the future, and a lot of the trends related to African Americans moving about the country. We're very fortunate. We have a program on February 27th. We're going to show the film Homecoming, which looks at African American farmers and their rootedness in the land, as well as moving off the land and moving back. We also, on February 9th, have a program where we're going to have a history lesson about the Great Migration, and that will be at the Hemphill branch.
Interesting. That sounds very interesting. I think folks forget sometimes how after slavery, a lot of the African Americans were still working the land, and much of that became their own land eventually. Now, you do have discussion groups, and they get together and read different books. Are there certain books that you're recommending for Black History Month, and can anyone join in?
Absolutely. The library has 19 book discussion groups. You can check our website or our events calendar to find out where they are and their times and dates. 2 clubs are reading books specifically for Black History Month. One is reading Warmth of Other Suns, and that will be at the Hemphill branch on February 12th. And that's a great book because it really goes in depth about the Great Migration. And Isabel Wilkinson is the author. We have lots of books. We have a book discussion group collection if people want to read more about it on their own.
Okay, wonderful. And it's always nice to have a great book and a very interesting group of people to discuss and get different take-backs from that book. And Tanika, you actually focus on our children's programming. So tell me, how does the library work with our youth to help them appreciate and celebrate Black History Month?
So I am so excited about February. At each of our locations, programs have been planned to highlight our Black pioneers. At our McGirt-Horton branch, every Wednesday we will host the Black History Lab, where we will highlight a Black pioneer. We'll have activities based upon whatever that person is known for, and it will give kids an opportunity to ask questions and to learn more. So we do have that space being made available for them to learn more.
And I think a big part of learning is reading, obviously.
Yes.
You are library experts. How do you get parents to understand ways that they can actually influence their child to be better and stronger readers and the benefits to that?
Yeah, I think that books can serve as a centerpiece to bring families together. So I think it's very important for families to have a day where they come in and visit the library and select books that are of interest to them. And once they go home, they can sit and read those books together. And what happens as a result is great communication. If you have young ones, it helps with language development skills, and just enhances their appreciation for the world and the world around them and their communities.
Very good points. And I always tell students when I get the chance to visit schools that you can travel through books.
Oh, absolutely.
You don't get to physically go, but through the book you can do a lot of exploration. Now, final question for each of you. The library has a vast DVD collection, so what would you say is your top pick as the must-see for Black History Month?
So I'm going to say Black Panther and The Hate That You Give. Our locations will be showing those movies, and we even have a maker space that is attached to The Hate You Give, so that further explores the story and the movie. So we would like for everybody to come out and enjoy that.
Okay.
And we'll be showing Malcolm X and then a couple of documentaries as well, The Homecoming that I mentioned, and then another one that we have early in Black History Month. And then I also wanted to mention that we have a pamphlet with books, with DVDs that patrons can check out themselves.
Oh, wonderful. And everything with the library, as far as checking it out, is free.
Absolutely.
You can't beat that. Well, thank you, ladies, so much. This preview of Black History Month is exciting. I know folks are going to participate in many of the discussion groups and the presentations and the kids' activities, so we appreciate all that you do each and every day, and we hope you come back and tell us about other programs that you have.
Thank you
so much.
Thank you. Stay tuned for a little-known fact about Greensboro as we tell you something about the city. That's coming up after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. One way to stay informed about what's happening in the city is by attending or tuning in to city council meetings. The Greensboro City Council meetings are open to the public, but if you cannot attend, we broadcast the meetings live right here on GTN, and we also stream the meetings live on the city's website. Council meetings take place at 5:30 p.m. on the first and third Tuesdays of the month on Level 2 of the Melvin Municipal Office Building, located at 300 West Washington Street. The first meeting of the month includes public comments and special presentations. Meetings on the third Tuesday of the month focus on public hearings and city business. The fourth Tuesday is reserved for a meeting as needed. To review the council meeting schedule and agendas, please visit the city's website. Here's an opportunity to learn a little something about the city. The Greensboro Department of Transportation is asking residents to identify their top transportation safety concerns as part of Vision Zero Greensboro. This is an initiative to reduce the number of traffic deaths and severe injuries to zero. Residents can access and complete the survey on the website for Vision Zero Greensboro until Friday, February 1st. Work groups comprised of residents identified emphasis areas in 2018. Emphasis Area 1 is speed and driver awareness, identifying speeding as the leading issue in Greensboro. This area also focuses on keeping drivers alert, which includes driving under the influence and distracted driving. Emphasis Area 2 is running off the road and protecting all users. Analysis shows more than half of the fatal crashes in Greensboro were the result of drivers running off the road or crossing the center line. Finally, Emphasis Area 3 is protecting vulnerable users such as pedestrians, bicyclists, and people riding motorcycles. For more information about the Vision Zero project, visit the city's website. Coming up after the break, we'll showcase our department spotlight, but first, prepare to mark your calendar for all the great events happening this week on the town.
Hey, this is Jody. Kick off the first weekend in February with First Friday, the Fringe Festival, and Arlo Guthrie all happening downtown. Join us downtown for First Friday, a free public event led by Arts Greensboro and Downtown Greensboro, Inc. Every month, First Friday attracts new and returning patrons of all ages to celebrate what Downtown Greensboro has to offer during the extended hours of 6 to 9 p.m. Green Hill Art Gallery will have live music featuring Sahara, a high-energy reggae group, while the Greensboro Children's Museum has more than 20 hands-on exhibits. For a complete schedule of special events, check out firstfridaygreensboro.org. While you're downtown, head over to the Carolina Theater to see legendary folk music icon Arlo Guthrie as he celebrates the 50th anniversary of his seminal song, Alice's Restaurant. Arlo has become a legendary folk music figure with a distinguished and varied career spanning almost 60 years. This road warrior, who performed at Woodstock in 1969, will be performing live at the Carolina Theater on Friday, and the show starts at 8 p.m. To purchase tickets, log on to carolinatheater.com. Have you had a chance to check out the Greensboro Fringe Festival? All of the pieces featured at the festival are premieres performed by local talent who do not have a regular venue to showcase their art. Check out a completely original performance on Friday and Saturday. There will be 3 different types of shows both nights, starting with Threads and Shadows, an evening of dance works by Alexandra Joy Warren and Sarah Council starting at 6 p.m. Next up, The Vicious Hillbilly or Dating in the Deep South starting at 8 p.m., which is a poignant comedy about the online dating journey of one progressive woman living in the Deep South. Then, from 10 to 11 p.m., Soylent Greensboro, an improv show, will use improv skills to tell a story or provide a train wreck. Either way, you'll enjoy the show. All 3 are happening in the Stephen D. Hires Studio Theater. For more information on the Fringe Festival, visit greensborofringefestival.org. Country music star Luke Combs will kick off his Beer Never Broke My Heart tour, his first ever headline arena tour, marking another major career milestone for the breakthrough musician. The extensive tour, which will feature special guests Lanco and Jameson Rogers, comes to the Greensboro Coliseum on Saturday starting at 7 p.m. See him perform Hurricane, When It Rains It Pours, and One Number Away live on stage. Go to thegreensborocoliseum.com for more information and to purchase tickets. Keep watching FYI Weekly right here on GTN to find out more about events happening on the town.
Welcome back. The City of Greensboro has 23 departments and several divisions committed to serving you, our residents, and visitors. Let's go behind the scenes in our department spotlight. Today, we place the spotlight on Parks and Recreation. The Greensboro Parks and Recreation Department has released a draft of Plan to Play, the comprehensive master plan for community recreation for the next 20 years. The recommendations prioritize how the city will maintain and improve existing parks and facilities, invest and plan for future parks and facilities, expand programs, and allocate funding and other resources to meet current and future community needs. Residents are invited to review the plan and share comments between now and January 31st. Parks and Recreation planning staff have spent the last 12 months analyzing the department's existing conditions, surveying residents and park users, and reviewing trends to map out a plan for the city's recreational needs. More than 7,000 Greensboro residents and park users provided input. The City Council will consider adopting Plan to Play in February. For more information or to download the plan draft, visit the city's website. Straight ahead on the other side of the break is this week's Way to Go GSO shout out. Stay with us. As we draw to a close, we always want to end on a positive note with our Way to Go GSO shout out. This week's shout out goes to the Guilford Metro 911 team. They received a shout out from the International Academies of Emergency Dispatch to say, help us celebrate Guilford Metro 911 as it is reaccredited as the world's 12th fire ACE. This marks the department's 5th accreditation, making Guilford Metro 911 one of only 2 fire ACEs in the world to be accredited 5 times. We also want to send a shout out to the Greensboro Police Department for partnering with 2 Longhorn Steakhouse restaurants to raise money for Special Olympics. Tip a Cop is a traditional fundraiser where uniformed police officers and non-sworn employees join the wait staff to help with duties such as refilling non-alcoholic drinks and serving bread while educating customers about Special Olympics. The events took place at the Longhorn Steakhouse restaurants on Battleground Avenue and Landmark Center Boulevard. During the meal, GPD employees asked for donations for Special Olympics in addition to receiving the tips that would normally be left for the waitstaff. Proceeds benefit Special Olympics of North Carolina. That concludes this edition of FYI Weekly, but you can easily stay connected to the latest city news by linking to us on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, and Instagram. Be sure to download our weekly podcast, Talk City Greensboro. For all of us here at the City of Greensboro, thanks for watching, and we'll see you next time.